So, wow. I seem to be recording, but there's no red light. No red light. Perhaps there is a red light. It's just I can't see it with the sun. Today is the 18th of June 2023. The 18th of June. We're already into the longest week of the year. I'm going on a long walk today. I'm heading off to the lake. And I'm walking to the lake from the house. I plan to do the full kind of circuit around to the Connemara and then back home. I hope it doesn't rain. There are a lot of clouds. It's supposed to be a bit showery today. The only problem on this road on a day like today is it's very busy, like you can hear. So, oh God, there's just like lines of cars coming and going. That means the coffee place will probably be open, but probably too busy for me to bother. I know it's annoying to listen back to this with a constant stream of traffic, especially if you're using headphones. Anyway, I'll try and carry on. Although, maybe it would be better to stop and do this once I get past the lake. And I think I'm gonna stop, and I'm gonna do this later on because it'll be very quiet on that walk toward Orizon. Alright, I'm off again. I can't see any red light, but the second hand is moving here, and we're on audio recording number 2. So it's a bit windy here. I've just passed the lake, and kind of as I thought. It's Sunday, it's warm, the lake is packed. So I went to the bar because I thought, well, maybe if I can just order a Coke I can go and sit down. But the guy said if you're eating in French, if you're eating in, you just sit down and someone will take your order. And I did that, and then as soon as I sat down, there's crowds of people all around me, it's noisy, and I realized I could be sitting here for 20 minutes, half an hour, fairly good chance that no one's going to remember at all, because the guy just literally glanced at me and said, "Yeah, sit down, they'll take your order." And anyway, I didn't feel comfortable there, so I just left. Thought I'm going to keep walking. I don't know whether you can, I'm sure you can hear that. There's a little bit of thunder in the distance. And on this path, which, my goodness, I have not walked this way in, at this point I would say, perhaps years. And I was saying earlier, today has a very drinking nostalgia vibe to it. Flo's gone to Maraval, it's Sunday. 2 goes with Flo. I'm completely a free agent today, and I was saying earlier, it would have been the perfect moment to do a playlist of about an hour and a half's worth of songs, and then have a half a bottle of wine or something to get really good and in the humour, and then head off and start off with Fanfare for the Common Man, or Derek Doom, or Philby, and be pretty much high as I start this long walk, which would have been great. In those days, I have to play the scenario through, of course, to see where it goes, because it may stay great for a bit, but it certainly hardly ever ends up great. But I don't know, that temptation, it's not a temptation. I'm not tempted. I'm not tempted, but there's a thoughts of it, trying to recollect other times going through my mind. I guess it's this type of walk like this kind of triggers that. It's probably understandable enough, and as I'm walking here, even can't really say I have flashbacks, because I was just saying earlier just how little is stored from the drinking times. There's very few things seem to be stored away that you can think of. There's kind of vague moments of looking out and feeling high, and playing the right song comes along, but that's it. Perhaps I was so high to the point of being almost unconscious or something, so there was nothing there to be stored. I don't know how it works. But yeah, I was just thinking, in the old days, this would have been... No, I've just walked. There's a puddle here, and I can't get across that way. I have to go back and start again. There's an enormous amount of water here, actually. So, I get to the Connemara. That'll be the difference, you see. When I get to the Connemara this time, I'm probably going to eat something. But in that older time, I wouldn't have been thinking about eating anything. I would have been thinking about drinking more. And I probably wouldn't be thinking about hydrating myself with some water on the side either, anyway. And the other thing I've been thinking about on this 18th of June is the fact that a year ago I was more or less beginning my treatment. Not sure if this is the exact day, but my God, it was pretty close to this, because it was the 2 last weeks of June, so it was either today or tomorrow or the next day when we arrived in the Cardano. No, not Cardano. It's gone again, the name of the place. Consoletta. The Consoletta. And that came back earlier. I was thinking of that. And I was thinking of the time I spent there and how I was pretty kind of okay on the surface. The days went by nicely, but kind of on a slightly under the consciousness radar a little bit. I was scared, and it's it was a time that you take your mortality. It becomes kind of take center stage a little bit, Right, I'm going to these cameras, man. Put something in my bag, it's hard to. So I'm gonna take a film with my new Maxi 4K. So right now there's duplicate audio recording going on, which may mean that at some point in the future you're listening to this audio and you've already watched this clip a few times, and as you're listening to this audio you have that kind of deja vu feeling. You're thinking, shit, I've heard all this before. Well, that, if you're wondering, that's probably the reason. This would be a nice spot to do 360 degree stuff. Anyway, I'm documenting my trip. And that's that. I don't want to put this camera in my pocket. Let me just put it in the front there. And I don't want to put it anywhere where it can switch on, you know, but every time I put it in my bag, I can't remember where the fuck I put it. So, yeah, I've got that going on in my mind a little bit. The Consolata. By the way, just remembered it is nice and quiet here compared to the earlier broadcast. There's no cars here, which is cool. I'm surprised the amount of water. There's long stretches where it's just completely flooded here still, in spite of the fact that it's probably 33 degrees at the moment. But I guess in the height of the rain here, you wouldn't have been able to walk here at all. It must have been completely flooded. Flows away, Tuco's away. I slept till 1:30. I had lots of different little dreams. And I have to say, it was nice to just kind of sleep on and keep dropping off again. And as much as I like Tuco, sometimes it's nice to just have nobody there when you get up, just peace, and you can go for a walk like this. And I haven't left Tuco behind, so I don't have to worry about, you know, I gotta get back because he's waiting. I was saying something yesterday, the day before, which I thought was interesting to me. It was about Bernard's daughter. I was taking Tuco for a walk, and Bernard's daughter was outside, and her boyfriend kind of pulled up in the car, and as usual, Tuco started barking, and I could sense Bernard's daughter was with the old lady that's in Bernard's old house, and I could sense them all, and I'm not sure if the boyfriend, because he said something, but I think he may have been talking to the girl. He might not have been talking to Tuco, but I imagined how quickly, given the last friend that I met of that girl, you know, the really fucking angry one that hates me even though she never met me, and I thought, God, that situation could very easily be one where the guy, if he's that type of guy, he could have started effing and fucking and shouting at the dog, and then, even though it's nonsense, but they could have went on about, oh, your dog is always barking at everybody, you know. And as I went for the walk, I felt really angry just playing through that scenario, because I'd know that the dog is not that bad at all, and that these people were just fucking I don't know what the word is. People that just don't want to get along with you, you know. They're kind of going out of their way to be awkward. And I visualized him maybe hitting Tuco or kicking at the dog or something. And then me going completely crazy. And going am. And then calling the daughter all the bad names I could think of. And I realized, because I could feel the anger when you kind of play these scenarios in your head. You can feel this rush of anger coming from somewhere, and I realized you're not angry just at that incident. It's not like you're just angry at him and her and the way they're talking to the dog. It's not just at her and the neighbours, because you know they have painted a terrible picture of you, let's say, that you don't think you deserve, but it's actually, you're angry at almost every shitty thing that ever happened to you in your life. That's what comes up. Anger is not some kind of it's not a detached unit of anger from a specific incident. It's a build-up and a build-up and a build-up, and I just thought to myself, that's why crazy things happen. Sometimes out of really kind of minor issues. Because as I was, and it's a bit like Eckhart Tolle talks about, it's a body, it's a personality who has accumulated all of this stuff. And even as I was going through the scenario, I was thinking about all these things from the past. You know, and those two guys met me in the playground, and they were younger than me, and they kind of bossed me around a bit, and I should have just knocked their block off, really, and I didn't. And afterward, John said, you shouldn't have let him talk to you like that. And you keep it. And even other things, like in the drama centre when I was doing something, and that girl couldn't remember my name, and she wrote down something like bland second-year student, which is a terrible kind of insult to someone who's trying to be anything but bland, even if he realises he is. But anyway, the point is, all these little things, the things where people have mistreated you, the times where your pride was hurt, the times where you lost and you felt you should have won, the times when you should have stood up for yourself and you didn't, and you felt bad about it afterward, and all these things, they all come to play in that moment. That's why it's kind of dangerous. You lose your head. You're really losing it for so many things. It's a build-up that may have been going on for decades. Anyway, I hadn't thought about it like that before. Now we're getting up close to, or have I passed the two rocks that the two rocks where I used to sit down. Shit, I can't see them. I was going to double back. Let's keep walking and see if they're here. I'd like to take a photograph, but you know what? I think I missed them. Yeah. I'm going back, try and find these two rocks where I used to sit. And then there was thoughts of getting older, and Pam came to see us the weekend, and that was good on some respects, and it was also a little uneasy in other respects. I don't want to get into the details, but I guess that's the news. Crypto, it's still down. Here they are. Here are the two rocks. Wow, there's a tree growing in the middle. Anyway, I think I'm going to sign off here. I'm on my way to the Connemara. I may make another entry later, but that's 16 minutes. That's 2 for now. Adios.